K0DWC WA7 YBS.
Okay, Henry. You sound like you're on something interesting too. I switched places with Carla this morning. She was going to take the net, but both of us forgot about Dayton Valley days yesterday and today. And boy, they got slammed yesterday. She come home, she was dead tired, and they asked her to come in early this morning. So she's in there trying to get everything right so she can get ready to go to work. She said she'll do it next Sunday. She'll take the net next Sunday in my place. So we just switched places. So anyway, but she apologized for everybody, and said that she'll be 99.9% back. She'll be net control next Sunday. So anyway. Let's see if there's anybody else out there who wants to be number 5 for the British Military Radio Net. If you'd like to check in, come out. Good morning, Vern. Good signal this morning. Congratulations. Man, you've been hitting the net here the last couple of times you've come back. You've been right on time, so great effort indeed. So go ahead and make a transmission real quick and then send it back to me, and I'll see if there's anybody else wants to check in real quick, and then we'll start the net. K6VXY, K0DWC.
Yeah, I wrote down 5, maybe I'm not number 5. I'll fix that. That's K6VXY quick transmission. Yeah, I did some more antenna work. It's up higher and better than it was before. Moved one of the ends of the dipole. There's more to do, but I'm taking my time on it. My legs were swelling a little bit, so I gotta take a few days off. I get so excited about fixing the antenna and make it work better, and then my legs say, no, you're not ready yet. Yeah, I'm interested to hear about that swamping too. A little local on K0DWC in the group is K6VXY Groveland, California.
Okay, Vern. Oh, excuse me. All right. Very good. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get going here, and I'll see if I can pick up anybody there here at the end of the first round. But this is a Vintage Military Radio Net. This is K0DWC Chuck. I'm in Dayton Valley, Nevada. I'll be in net control this morning, and we'll be on 3974 kilocycles. Everybody pretty much knows the spiel. You know, you have anything for sale or want, go ahead and mention it, your turn, in the roundtable session, and the check-ins are given a number. And Vern, you are number 5, by the way. So, anyway, right now, this is how I have it. In the number 1 spot is Steve, W6SSP. In the 2 spot is Bill, N6BCT. In the 3 spot is Mike, W7MS. In the 4 spot is Henry, WA7YBS. And the 5 spot is Vern, K6VXY. So just real quick, we're on the ART-13 and listening on the ARR-7. And running through an inverted V, keeping with an OS3 speaker, D104 microphone, about well, it says 300 watts, but I don't believe it. But anyway, that's the rundown here. So we'll send it up to Steve, W6SSP in the group. This is K0DWC. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Chuck, and good morning, one and all. This is Steve, W6SSP in Santa Rosa, and I gotta say, conditions here are pretty bad. Severe QSB, Chuck, I think you asked me a question, but you faded out completely, so I didn't hear what you said or what you asked, and so that's why I didn't answer. Henry, I was also just above and below the noise, so pretty bad conditions here. Anyway, using the usual Collins 75A1 receiver and 32V1 transmitter, 85 watts out, into a dipole about 30 feet up, and a D104 microphone. And I just wanted to get on real quickly to give a brief Lincoln report from yesterday. And I sent some of you, or a couple of you guys, read up about it. If anybody wants a more detailed description, drop me an email. Anyway, Lincoln was sort of interesting, as it always is. So it was about 20% smaller than it was last year, and very, very noticeable that people just weren't buying stuff. There was quite a bit of stuff there, a wide range of things. Not much military stuff, some bunch of arcade stuff that was being practically given away. A couple of VHF backpack military radios that had keypads on them. And talking to Mike, he said he thought those were VHF, so I don't think those sold, at least they were still there when we got them out. A lot of great deals of test equipment and boat anchors. There was one lady, especially, who had a whole bunch of heat kit stuff. The green square box stuff. I had probably 6 or 7 pieces, and the Viking 1 transmitter that was pretty good shape. And they were originally in the $55 to $65 range. I think she only sold one. At the end of the day, they were $30 each. And by then, I already had the truck filled up, so I had to pass on those. And I'll be thinking about that all year, regretting it. Anyway, it was a fun fest, long drive for us, and kind of paying for it today a little bit. So, that's my quickie Lincoln report. Over to Bill, N6BCT, W6SSP.
W6SSP and 6 Bravo, Charlie Tango. Good morning, this afternoon it is, and so there you go. Otherwise, everything is okay. So it's over to W7MS and 6 Bravo, Charlie Tango.
Well, thank you, Bill. N6BCT, W7MS, Mike and Reno. Well, good morning to you, Steve. Great to see you yesterday. And Bill, good signal. Q5. And good morning, Henry, on that different sounding radio. And also, good morning to Vern. But, yeah, a good time at Lincoln. I don't think my reports would be as glowing or positive as Steve's, but it's kind of in the eye of the beholder. But had a good time, came home with a few freebies and a few nickel and dime goodies. So it was a nice social visit, and fun to be in the great state of California yesterday morning. So, oh yeah, by the way, those green radios turned out to be AHF, and they were purchased by 2 of the usual suspects. They went for $200 a piece, and there was some question on the encryption in the D-mail procedure for the radios, but they look good externally. So we'll get updates from those 2 suspects on their progress. But a little Googling produced some real answers from the data plate on that stuff. So it was interesting. And this morning, rolling out the Bendix ATD with the support of the 30S1 amplifier, about 300 watts of carrier this morning. And of course losing 6 dB through the attenuator network to drive the 30S1. Receiver's a BC348R powered from the AC mains, masquerading as a BC348P. With a big thanks to Henry, he supplied the missing contract data plate, so it looks externally original, but internally it's a 348R. So over to Henry. What are you running this morning? And it's sounding much improved from the first outing. WA7YBS, W7MS.
Okay, Mike. W7MS, WA7YBS. Okay, thanks. And good morning to Steve. Thanks for the report on Lincoln. And also I did get the email, very detailed and interesting read. So I appreciate that. And good morning to Bill, Q5. And some good. And good morning to Vern, also sounding good. And okay, yeah, this is the ATD again. And last time we were on 2 weeks ago, we kind of QRT'd quickly because there was smoke coming out of the right-hand side of the cabinet there, and that was due to the plate bypass capacitor on the master oscillator plate coil bypass capacitor, and that apparently was causing a lot of leakage problems. Went totally short circuit, and that also managed to take out the plate movement system and one other that was specific to one channel. So anyway, a little bit of rework there, and that took care of that problem. And then at Cabela's, courtesy of Mike, W7MS, I have the working current meter, RF current meter, and it looks authentic. And it was a little bit of modification with the spacer, but not anything extremely difficult. And it really looks cool. It sets back behind the panel about 1 inch. So, but definitely not an awful lot of current showing with a, with a 50 ohm load on it. So, but well, it does show some, just not much. Anyway, that's the rundown. And D104 microphone collinear array. So we're running 45 watts of carrier, and hoping we're making it. Oh, so we'll find out. We'll turn it over to Vern, K6VXY, WA7YBS.
So good. And looks wet outside. So our neighbor, he waters his driveway is definitely wet. So we shouldn't have had any rain. So we all sounded good. Good morning to Steve, Bill, Mike, and I'm not sure the next 6 weeks I'm going to be long. I got up a little early. I took the place. And so I did some work and took a look at the weather. But, the weather here is interesting. Going ahead from today, in the next few days will be in the low 80s. And then for about 8 days in a row, starting by about Thursday of this week, it shows middle 80s all the way to the end there. It shows the weather out about 2 degrees, which I think at this time of year is there's the sun going on like 200, but the ceiling fan is
Okay, Vern, K6VXY, K0DWC. Yeah, you, here you were way down, and I don't know if you didn't turn your amp on or what, but you came up there about midway and got a little bit stronger, but you're still not as strong as you were before the net started, so I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, I was able to copy you though. So anyway, let's see here. Well, Mike, congratulations at least on the freebies there, and the I guess it turned out to be a social event, I guess, for some folks. But boy, like Steve said, nobody was buying anything. You know, not very many radios, but a lot of test equipment. But anyway, at least you got something to bring home, Mike. So anyway, Bill, I copied you 100% that time. I heard that you talked to John on the phone at about 2 in the afternoon or whatever. If you talk to him again, give him our very best, will you? Tell him we think about him often, and wish he was here with us. So if you could give him that message, we would appreciate it, Bill. And let's see, Steve. So I guess I don't know. I guess Lincoln was so, like Mike said. It's in the eyes of the beholder, I guess. But sorry you missed out on those on that piece of equipment because you filled your car up. That's, man, oh man. And let's see, Steve, you were coming in good here. I know you said you had a problem on your end, but you were easily copyable over here. Bill was, that particular time, Bill was easily copyable. Mike and Henry sound great on those ATDs. Man, what a treat. 2 ATDs. You know, we got 6 people and 2 of them are running ATDs. Now, how cool is that? You know, that's great. That's a treat to hear them on the air. And Henry, great job getting that one up and going the way it should. So, me and Mike were doing really well. And Vern, your IC7200 is working fine. I don't know if it was atmospherics or what, but you started out real low and then gained as the further you went. So anyway, let's see if there's anybody else who wants to check in on tail end of the first round. Be number 6. Like to be number 6. Come now, please.
This is W6 Alpha.
Bob, is that you?
Yeah, it's affirmative. Good morning.
Okay. I heard W6A and then you disappeared. So, but it sounded like you. So, all right, Bob, I got you in the 6 spot, W6AQU in the number 6 spot. Go ahead and make a transmission and send it back up to me, K0DWC. Go ahead, Bob.
Very good. Well, just waking up here. First cup of coffee. A little too much Shawnee, it looks like here this morning. Go ahead, I'll be back later.
Okay, Bob, we'll catch you. We'll catch you here in the next go round. You're in the number 6 spot, though. If anyone would like to be number 7, Vintage Military Radio, net come now. Okay, nothing heard. So we'll go back up to Steve and see if he's still there. If he's still having a lot of difficulty, we'll see if he can answer back for us here. W6SSP, Steve, it's your turn if you're there. If you want, go ahead. W6SSP K0DWC.
Okay, Chuck. Yeah, I'm still here. K0DWC W6SSP. You came up quite a bit that time. You're about Q4. Mike is Q5, and everybody else is right at or below the noise level. I don't know what's going on there. Conditions have always been that way here. I think it has a lot to do with my antenna, which is not that great. Anyway, I just wanted to mention a couple things about the engine swap. It was a lot of fun. I figured test equipment wise, I came home with probably at least 200, maybe 250 pounds worth of Tektronix spectrum analyzers. I was not expected to find it lumping, but before the sun came up, I spotted the guy that had 4 of them for sale, and they're fairly recent ones, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, something like that. They're from 10 kc to 21 gigavolts, and one was working, and it was at a very good price. The other 3 had issues, which were labeled, and he actually had a video on his phone about the working one, so I purchased that one, and wandered by a little later, and was looking at them again, and asked me if I was interested, and I said, well, mildly. They were kind of heavy. And the guy said, well, would you take them if they're free? Well, that's a no-brainer. And he said, jokingly, hey, if you bought me a donut, we'll call it even. So I bought him a donut. He was real happy, and I was real happy. So that was kind of a fun part of the day. The only headlines I bought were Heat Kit HW7, which is a QLP transceiver, not a very good one, but I have the HW8, which I really like. So I've got the pair, and someday I might find the final version of that, the HW9. So we'll see. That's a goal. Got to have goals. Also picked up a pre-arranged Collin 7581 to go with an Orphan 42 one that I restored a few years ago. And it was, again, worse than advertised. 7581 was, so. But I bought it anyway. The front panel looks really nice. Thought it was so nice. The chassis was got some transformers, that sort of thing. But I was looking for winter projects, so I went on another winter project, and very happy about that. So, guys, conditions, like I say here, are really up and down. I'll listen for a while, and but I think I'm going to call it quits for today. So we'll send it over to Bill, N6BCT, W6SSP, 73L.
Well, thanks, Bill. N6BCT, W7MS. 73s to you, Steve. And it's great to hear your stories and those great spectrum analyzers and the swap for a donut. Maybe a cup of coffee also. So congratulations. And yeah, it's I think my critique is from my perspective, but I still had a good time, and it was great. And went out for a nice late breakfast with a couple of guys. So it was a good day and a good driving day. No issues in and about the California freeways. But let me see. Yeah, I think Vern forgot to turn on his amplifier. I'm going to vote. I'm going to raise my hand and throw my vote in the ring as far as Vern's received signal level this morning. And Bill is degrading down to about a Q4, but still a satisfactory copy, and we'll see what happens on the next round. And of course, Chuck, thanks for running the show. Good morning to Carla. And all the social activities this weekend. It's as we wind down on festivities and street fairs as we head into the change of season. Speaking of that, Sunday, it's I think we can say goodbye to summer. But fortunately, the cold snap has dissipated, along with the few hundredths inch of rain that I received over the previous couple of days. It's going to be a nice Sunday. And great on the ATD wrap-ups. This one's doing okay. I think I had to exercise the TR keying relay because I was seeing no RF ski, but I was keying the 30S1. So we flipped it on a dummy load, flipped it into the code position, and called CQ for about 2 minutes into the dummy load to exercise the TR/keying relay. I think that was the issue. A little grumpy. Essentially, as you may know, generally most of it, I would assume, if not all, but a majority of the ATDs out there were never issued, so you could call them new old stock, but after 80 years, maybe there might be a little bit of cranky on the internals, let alone a component failure that Henry experienced. But it's great. I wonder if Henry's been able to round up any of the connectors. That was going to be an issue. I know he's got a dynamotor, and the search continues, but congratulations. And I always feel I'm a type of guy I want to be in the background. I don't want to be a standout. So now that there are 2 ATDs in the neighborhood, I feel much more comfortable. So over to Henry, WA7YBS, W7MS.
Yeah, okay, Mike. W7MS, W7YBS. All right. 73 Steve. And yeah, I'm going to vote on no SB220 on Vern's end there. And you were Q5, Vern, but you were a lot stronger on the initial check-in. So we'll see what happened there. And Bill, yeah, that's went from Q5 to Q4, but that's okay. And good morning to Bob. Got a few words from Bob. It sounds like Bob said that he was hitting the modulation a little too hard, so I guess he's kicking out a breaker or something. So anyway, we'll hope to hear Bob back. And yeah, okay, on the spectrum analyzers. Yeah, I had a military one time. I think the thing must have weighed 100 pounds. I was glad to get rid of it. But yeah, modern stuff, when you get the test equipment, modern stuff sometimes is better. And that's good. And that's one of the things with the test equipment is usually it wasn't. It's just not, is kind of a little bit of a collector deal on general radio stuff and Hewlett-Packard, early Hewlett-Packard, you know, but that's just the way it is. The general radio stuff is nicely made, but kind of, you know, it's kind of difficult to use some of it because general radio designed it to use it for other things that so usually all accessories just to run the things. But anyway, ATD, yes, I do have a dynamotor, and we are in the process of building a 80 amp power supply to run the damn dynamotor. We'll see if it works. If it works, I'll let everybody know how I did it. But at any rate, yeah, no connectors. Connectors are just unobtainium. And so I made something up. There's a company called Oral Points that makes really great push-on connectors for 8-inch contacts. They work fabulous, and sleeve them, and it works great, so it's no problem. But yeah, original connectors so far have eluded me, and so look, that's kind of the story on the ATD. I think this one was never in service, but it also kicked around and bought it. So there you go. It was okay, but you know, the NOS ones. I went through this one and cleaned all the relay contacts, just thinking that they looked like they needed it. So anyway, let's turn it over to Vern and see if the heat gets online now. K6VXY, WA7YBS.
Well, we'll try it in low power. Good morning, Vern. W6VXY, group at W6, Able, Queen Uncle, low power. Do have a problem. I don't know what, but anyhow, I will keep it short. We fired up the T3. It's been a while. So, next van goes back to Chuck, I think. Hope you can copy me. K0DWC, W6, Able, Queen Uncle.
Okay, Bob. Oh, yeah, no problem copying you at all. You got a pretty, relatively strong signal now with the T3, so yeah, no problem. Can't hear anything at all. So anyway, glad that you were able to get back on. So good deal there, Bob. All right, is there anyone that wants to be number 7 for the Business Military Radio Net? Come now.
MKA.
W7MKA, K0DWC. Yeah, go ahead and make a transmission there and send it back up to me, K0DWC. Yeah, go ahead.
Make some adjustments here, maybe be a little bit better. Yeah, K0DWC, W7MKA, Robert and Grants Pass. It's been a flat road since I've got on. For one reason or another, but mostly conditions have been bad here.
But pretty decent this morning, especially with Bob and ACU and Mike. It's excellent signals in here. We're just checking in on the BC6669 in the linear. I'm cheating. So hopefully it's working out. Okay, and all the ATV comments. We also have one of those here, and the same as the others, looks like it was never issued or anything. And I got mine from Ken, KB6B, who bought it at a ham fest. It came with all the original cables and everything, which are cut really long. I mean, the dynamotor cable is probably 50 feet, and then and the remote cable is probably 100 feet long. So this is allowing insulation release over the plane. I think I've had it on this net before with an ARB or something. So, yeah, fired right up. It's a unissued new old stock. So maybe we have enough we can have a net with just ATVs one of these times. So back up to you, Chuck K0DWC to W7MK.
Okay, Robert. W7MKA K0DWC. Yeah, I agree with you. I think your addition to your ATD and Mike and Henry's can coordinate and get all of them on at one time. That would really be neat. Your Q5 copy, Robert, no problem at all. 100% copy. Good clear signal. It's clean. Yeah, a little bit of background noise, but it's negligible at best. But you're coming in real good down here in Dayton Valley, Nevada. So anyway, glad to have you back, and hope you'll check in more frequently with us. And let's see here. Let's see if there's anybody wants to be number 8 for the Vintage Military Radio Net. Come now, please. Okay, nothing heard. So 7-3s to Steve, and hopefully conditions will be better this time next week. I know some places over there are kind of difficult, but hopefully Steve will be back with us next Sunday. So with that, let's go ahead and do the 73 round. And we'll go ahead and run through it there. So N6BCT in the group. Go ahead and take it. This is K0DWC.
Well, thank you, Bill. N6BCT W7MS. I think you dropped down to about Q2, but good morning to you, Bill, and of course, as all of us say here on the net here, say hello to John, Mr. Svoboda. But well, this is W7MS. I don't know if I threw that out there, but Vern was no copy here, so I'm not quite propagation. So I never heard an explanation for why his signal level was deficient this morning. But we'll just say it's the gods of propagation. But good morning, Bob. Extremely Q5 plus signal in Reno. Sorry that the T3 has an issue or two, but we know that you'll resolve that shortly after the second cup of coffee. But good morning to you. And Robert, nice to hear you. It has been a while. And propagation, at least for the moment, is fine between you and I, so good signal. And great to hear you back and in the ATD stories. So we're just extremely jealous and envious that you basically got the shipping crate with the ATD to have all the accessories and the cables. That's great. I was fortunate enough to have the connectors and build the cables, which was just fine because I couldn't imagine a 100-foot run or a 50-foot run. That would be maybe a trip hazard here in Studio B, but great to hear that. And fine on Henry's 80 amp power supply project. I guess the nouveau way to do it is to get multiple farads of energy storage caps, and I may try that approach someday, but it's a way to make up for surge current issues. But maybe that's what Henry's up to, but we'll find out. And thanks, Chuck, for running the net. What can I say? A little discombobulated on your end, I think, with the commitments, Carla's commitments, but we'll look forward to her NCS when she's in the big NCS chair here in a week or two. And also, you may notice there's a slight delay in the response because I am in the phone position, which I have to wait for the dynamotor to come up to speed. I guess if I wanted to cheat, I could leave it in code or flip it to code prior to the handoff, and that would eliminate that problem. But my gosh, that just would not be authentic operation here. But looking good. And it only looks like I'm about 100 hertz high in frequency, so the drift factor after preheat is looking pretty good. And we're still producing about 300 watts of carrier at a close or at 100% modulation. But with that, 7.3s from Reno, over to Henry, WA7 YBS, W7MS.
Okay, Mike. And yeah, no, you're sounding great. You're sounding good. Yeah, I did hear the dynamotor starting up there on your transmissions here, and I was wondering if that's what you were running. Is the dynamotor solves that 400 milliamp requirement for the low voltage. But at any rate, you know, this I'm running on the vacuum tube ART13 power supply, and it limps along. 1,000 volts is okay, no problem there. But the 400 volt supply is only really rated, but yeah, I think about 200 milliamps or so. So I'm kind of, you know, really hogging it down, and it'll be better. It'll be better. I thought that the best way to solve it was going to the dynamotor. I've serviced the dynamotor, relubed it, got it all running, runs on the bench just fine. Sounds like a shop vac, which is typical, I guess. So we'll have that next time. Next time we'll run on the dynamotor, I hope. I do have a 3 dB attenuator coming, and that will allow this ATD to run into the linear, and we'll be running probably about 100 watts, maybe 130, between 100 and 130, depends on how it works out. And so anyway, yeah, we will up the power a little bit here on the ATD next time, hopefully. And I didn't mention the receiver I'm using is the Hammerland RBG2. So that's that. And let's say good morning to Robert. And yeah, you got a good signal in here. Robert, very, very, you know, unexpectedly good propagation up to the north. And I don't know, Vern says that he's just, you know, running the linear, and it just must be propagation. Maybe the squirrels got to his antenna. I don't know. I'll say 73 to everybody, and everybody have a good week coming up. And with that, over to Vern, K6VXY WA7 YBS.
copy you, Vern. Very good morning to you. Yeah, signals are up and down. Running local in the morning. Their phones, about 100 watts or something. But we hadn't fired up this tree in a long time. But Bill copied all the stations, including Bill. No. Robert, you surprised me. You got a gangbusting signal over here. Probably the strongest in the bunch, I think. Well, I'd missed last week, I think, and the week before, but I gathered that we were supposed to be running dynamotors this morning. Well, we've got a DY something over there, and it's being run with 1104C. But that's in the other position across the road. So we missed out on that. But anyhow, 73 stall. And we'll try to be back next week here and get this 2-3 up to full steam. So, over to Bronx Times. W7MKA. That's W6 Alpha Quebec uniform. 73 stone. Go ahead, Robert.
W6AQU in the group, W7MKA. Yeah, Bob, you win the signal strength contest in here to all over S9. But everybody else was good copy, except for one. I didn't even catch one right. But okay, I think Mike was talking about the power supply project there. That sounds interesting. We use it at EP1104 for everything here. But I had toyed with the idea. I picked up a 3-phase 24-volt battery charger for a forklift. It must have been like 350 pounds. And just had an enormous transformer in there. And so we're toying with converting that over, but then I got this 1104, which is a lot more manageable, so I sold everything off for the $20 or whatever I paid for it. So it seemed like it was going to be the conversion process was going to be a big project. And yeah, the ATV, we did get the cable got never used for the channel selector remote box. They have some magnetic indicators that pop out. Never needed it. Just the remote operation. And I was once up in Spokane working. When I worked at the DPA and went to the Spokane headsets, and there somebody's dollar table was an ATV remote box for $1. So we got that pilot's remote box too, but I've also never wired it up. We could be on every time, maybe next week we'll get it fired up again. We'll say 7-3 and back up to speed. Not speed, back up to K0DWC. This is W7MKA.
Okay, Robert. This is Chuck, K0DWC. Alrighty. Well, you still have a good signal down here, Robert. The path seems to be pretty good with you up there in Grants Pass and me down here in Dayton Valley. But good deal all the way around. Thanks for joining us this morning. And you're sounding really, really good. So, all right, guys. Well, good net this morning, and thank you everybody for there, and thank you all for the reports on Lincoln. And Bob will hopefully get his little problems fixed over there with the radios he's got, and I heard you were running 100 watts on the T3, so that's a good signal there. So you guys have a good one, and have a good day today, and a good week ahead, and hopefully Carl will be net control next Sunday. Dayton Valley days will be over today, so she should be in pretty good shape for the net next week. So we'll say our 7.3s, and invite everybody back next Sunday morning. So 7.3s, guys, take care. Thanks for being there. And Henry, I'll give you a buzz later on this afternoon. And everybody take care. So this is K0DWC signing. 7.3s, guys. We'll catch you later.